I'm Sister Cushla. I was born in Tapanui in Otago, and when I was 2.5 we migrated up to Christchurch. And we lived in the Dallington Avonside area, so I was there for about 25 years and went to St Paul's School there, and then went to Marian College from 84 to 88, and then I went to university and got a job with Statistics New Zealand, and then I came here. So that was all 9.5 years ago. Jesus Christ is God, and He's come in the flesh. He came as a man to bring us back into relationship with God. And for me in particular, He is, as a religious, He is my spouse. He is the one I belong to completely, and He's totally for me, and I'm trying to become totally for Him. Especially as a Carmelite, He would be my greatest friend, and the one who guides me, who teaches me, who is always there for me, and that relationship is my primary relationship. Well, originally in about the end of the 12th century, a group of men who had either been on the Crusades or they were merchants with the Crusades, they gathered on Mount Carmel in the Holy Land, which is near modern day Haifa, and they dedicated themselves to Our Lady and wanted to live a life of prayer and meditation on scriptures. That the central part of the rule that they had was to live a life of allegiance to Jesus Christ and meditating day and night on the law of the Lord, which means both scripture and also the person of Jesus. So they spread eventually to Europe, and then in the 15th century the nuns started join the order, so there were groups of women. They got quite large monasteries, and in the 16th century Saint Teresa, who is our foundress of the Discalced Carmelite nuns, she was in a monastery of about, I think there were about 180 nuns there, and many of them didn't have a vocation. There was a lot of noise there. There wasn't a lot of prayer going on, or some were prayerful, but if you know anything about the history of Spain, I suppose you would, a lot of the men had gone to the New World to discover America, and there weren't a lot of men around, so a lot of women were put in convents because their family didn't really know what to do with them. They didn't have vocations, so she decided, the Lord spoke to her and wanted her to begin a reformed branch, which was going to be small communities of women living a life of deep prayer and friendship with God. And so she wanted about 13, which was big for the 12 apostles of our Lord, and they were going to live in an enclosure, which is just a limited piece of land. It could be quite big, 9 acres or something, but just so that they can live that life of silence and solitude, and so they can completely focus on God. So that's the Carmelites. And so they eventually, then they went to France, and from France in the end of the 19th century they came to Sydney, and then we came here 1933. First of all, a vocation is a calling. It comes from the Latin vocare, to call, and it's God's calling for us. And basically we all have the same vocation. We're called to live a life, a deep relationship with God. That part in the gospel, we love the Lord our God with all our heart, mind, soul and strength, and our neighbour as ourselves. That's everyone's vocation, but there is going to be a particular lifestyle in which we will best live that out. And so most people would live that out in the married state. Many people are single, maybe called to live as a single and do some work. Some are called to be priests, and some are called to be religious.